tonight seemed like that was better, and guys, when they were catch and shoot, they wouldn't look. What do you think of the spacing tonight?
Yeah, we worked really hard on it the last 2 days. You know, obviously we feel like that was probably the biggest thing that cost us the game in LA. And, you know, our guys did a good job, you know, honoring their spacing. You know, there's a lot of ways to make your teammates better. And everybody thinks to make your teammates better is to pass the ball to them. But, you know, by, you know, spacing the floor off the ball, you make the player with the basketball smarter and more efficient. And we did a much better job with that tonight.
You had, I can't remember the play in particular, but Nurkic was up top and he found the cutter, Gordon. How much can that be utilized more of him up top and guys cutting off and getting played?
Yeah, it's a big reason why we went out and got him. You know, we love his ability to pass up top and in the low post. And, you know, guys playing off of him, back cutting or coming to the basketball, right? He can do both. And, you know, he's a very versatile big man. You know, shoots threes, a great passer, can score in the low post, can play in the pocket when our stars are getting double teamed. And he has a really positive dimension to our game.
Coach, could you talk about the defensive effort? It seems as though that was the theme early on. There were a lot of tip balls early on that led to some pretty easy baskets. And also, many of the shots that the Jazz took were contested. It seems as though your players are buying into this defensive scheme.
So far, so good. Yeah, the guys have really worked at it. You know, they've believed in what we do. And, you know, in terms of contesting shots, you can contest shots if everybody stays guarded. You know, if guys are getting open all over the floor, then it's tough to have a high level of contest. But you know, they're executing our scheme to a pretty high level, and they're doing it with a great deal of effort and hustle and scrappiness. You know, which is what we're asking them to do. You know, we know we're going to have a elite talent on this basketball team, but if the effort piece is greater than an opponent every night, we're going to be really tough to beat, like tonight.
Frank, how nice is it to have some of these regular season nights where Kevin only has to play 29 minutes and get him off his feet a little bit?
The more, the better. Yeah.
Yuta Watanabe had 20 minutes tonight, and what do you think about his performance tonight?
I love Yuta's game. You know, I mean, he has the dynamic. I don't know how many threes did he get. He got 1 3, but you have to run at him, you know, so the defense has to really stretch out, which creates space for the others. And, you know, he has a really good IQ offensively of the game to make the right play. And his effort and intelligence defensively, you know, he's one of our better defenders. You know, and a lot of times opponents try to target him, and you know he just moves his feet, contains, uses his length. He had a nice block in the paint tonight on his own man, and he's a really good two-way player.
What do you think about his contribution for the team so far? I mean, it's only 3 games, but you could
He's a big part of what we've done so far, and is going to be a big part of what we do going forward. You know, we're very high on him.
What do you make of the efficiency tonight for your crew? A lot of players shooting over 50% from the field. You guys had a 40-point third quarter, seem to be very efficient from beginning to end.
Big emphasis on the extra pass the last 48 hours, right? And reading defense and spacing. You know, all these principles, right? There's execute when you have high turnovers like we did against LA. It's not just the man with the basketball; it's how we're executing. And you know, we executed a lot better, and we trusted our teammates a lot better by recognizing that, you know, when we get the ball in the paint, we have strong finishes or we got backside shooters, and we just did a far better job of that tonight than we did last game.
Right in the book, Kevin's going to have an even bigger role offensively, but for him to be guarding the all-star on the other end, just what do you think that can do for the team, for him to show that through his game?
Yeah, it's what he asked of me in our very first conversation this summer, is that, you know, we don't have to, you know, hide him so he can carry an offensive load, you know, and put another guy on the other team's best player. He said if that's the matchup, he wants it. You know, he wants to guard the other team and the other team's best player. And, you know, tonight was a perfect example of it because Markkanen is a tough matchup, you know, and he's the best matchup for it. So I know he wasn't going to shy away from that. He was going to embrace it, and he did a great job on it.
He will often say that he doesn't want to take 20-plus shots, like he wants to be around like 12 to 18. Is this the type of game you think of when he's bringing that up, just the way he opened up everything for you guys?
Perfect balance. You know, perfect balance. And we knew, first of all, every post double team that he gets, we should shoot wide open threes or get dunks on the backside, and we did a much better job with that. But he did a phenomenal job early in the game facilitating for his teammates, right? And then everybody else gets involved, makes a couple shots, and they're a little charged up more on the defensive end, and he doesn't have to do so much, you know. And I thought we all leaned on him too much in the Lakers game. and far better result tonight.
Coach, you guys had 126 points tonight, and 26 of those points came from the free throw line. You think that's going to be big for you guys, being able to shoot that high and efficiently, 26 out of 28?
Yeah, we're a good free throw shooting team, so the more we can get there, the better. We had numbers probably high because of the third quarter. We got in a bonus super early, I think with 9 minutes left, and then we just stayed in attack mode at that point. I think there's a lot of ways to get to the line. It's not just duck your head and plow into defenders, but your sweep moves, your shot fakes, the crashing, the open court play. The more we can kick ahead and attack in the open court, and guys crashing the boards, you got to hit those guys. So the effort piece gets us to the line.
Frank, how encouraged have you been by Jordan Goodwin's offense? What have you seen from him on that end?
Yeah, very, very encouraged with Jordan. He's playing good basketball for us. He didn't shoot the ball well tonight overall, but he's a confident shooter, and he's a confident playmaker in pick and roll. Where he's going to distribute, make the right play, can shoot his little floaters, can get to the basket, can really do a lot of things. He had 5 assists tonight, and with team without a point guard, he's really the one on the floor, that has experience with that, and he's giving us a big lift right now.
Pre-game, we were talking about the bench. Obviously, definitely delivered, not just in how they played, but in that emphasis of attack mode. Was that the discussion with them going into this one as well?
Attack and read. You know what I mean? We don't want to be reckless, but yeah, attack the rim with all you got, and then if you can get the defense to bite. Okay, we got shooters on the backside. We have a great shooting team. The way we passed the ball tonight, we easily could have had 23s. Okay, we didn't even shoot the ball that well, but we're gonna have we got 2 shooters in not in uniform tonight. They're gonna help that a lot as well.
Two questions.
Frank, can you just speak to the Ring of Honor celebration tonight, what Matt's doing, and another thing there good for the fans and everything?
Yeah, Matt's doing a great job just embracing this organization's history, and honoring guys like Sean and Amari, but also bringing back the legends that we had in the building tonight. I didn't get to see the actual ceremony, but I think Charles was here, and KJ and Marley, and I mean, how do you not love those teams that those guys had? I mean, that was just the Phoenix Suns basketball at its best, and hopefully we can continue the winning tradition.
You mentioned your excitement for being on this side of the bench with all the fans. What was it like finally getting to be the head coach here in this area?
It's awesome. I think we're going to have a great relationship with the fan base here. I think they're going to be really proud of the product we put on the floor, how much blood, sweat, and tears we put into the game, and really position this organization to compete for a championship, and hopefully bringing that gold ball here for the first time.
Frank, you've spoken about your past, coaching and starting out with the Celtics, Sonics, in 2004. But do you have any memories that stick out about facing the Suns during that 7 seconds or less era? Any of those teams?
Yeah, I remember it was a nightmare. Trying to figure out Steve Nash. Still to this day, in my 25 years being in this league, one of the toughest guys to figure out how to guard, because you knew he was just going to play with extreme pace, and you had to get your defense back and set. And his computer, right, when he was driving the ball or using the pick and roll game, you knew the ball was going to be, whoever was left this much open, like that guy was going to get the basketball. And if you stayed home on everybody else, he had the power to score the ball. And what I remember about him is he would facilitate, for 3.5 quarters, and then at crunch time, he'd come down and drill some big threes. So now it's my time to go, to take over the game, or, just take that reins from a scoring standpoint when it was needed.
Kevin, how nice was it to sit and watch a fourth quarter, knowing that the guys, took care of business early, and was able to come out with a convincing W?
Yeah, that's one of the best feelings in the league, when you got a nice lead and you can get some of the guys who don't get opportunity to play as much, get them some reps on the floor. Families get to see them on TV, it's a whole thing. So that's one of the most exciting times, when you can get some of those guys some minutes at the end of the bench, and also just bounce back from a W. Every game is it's going to be an opportunity for us to continue to build who we are and build our system. And I think tonight's one of those nights that we moved in the right direction.
How important was it tonight for you to still trust guys to shoot it and then find guys and then them being able to knock down shots?
Yeah, I think that's the difference between this game, last two games. I mean, taking 20-plus shots really not my game unless I really have to. So tonight, I didn't take a lot of shots, but I felt like I had the ball a lot and was able to make plays and put my teammates in good positions and put myself in good positions as well. So I think we played off of each other tonight. EG got us going early. Grayson got it going in the third. We was able to just move off of one another, and that's really what basketball is about. So it's an exciting win, and hopefully we build on this.
Lastly, defensively, what do you feel like maybe was better than the previous? Not that you guys played bad defensively, but you get what I'm saying.
I think our first 3 games have been solid defensively. Obviously, we're playing against good teams, great players. They're going to, be great players and make shots over you and confuse you a bit. But for the overall, 43.5% from the field, 104 points. It's great basketball on the defensive side. So we continue that. This team last night, they won last night against a good Clippers team, hitting a lot of threes, offensive rebounding a lot. And I think we was able to control that a bit. And, also catching them on the back-to-back was good for us as well.
Someone like Drew coming in, providing that spark, not only on defense, but just in that attitude. What did you feel when he got into the game?
Yeah, I love Drew. I love Drew's professionalism and, how much his intensity when he plays. He plays with force on everything he does. Screens, running up and down the floor, finishing, obviously dunking at the rim. But he had a few nice hook shots tonight. He's been making great passes in the system, so we just got to keep building, man. It's great to get a win, but we want to keep getting better individually and as a collective.
Kevin, to your point earlier, it felt like you had the ball tonight just as much as Thursday, but did you feel like the playmaking and the flow of the offense was improved?
Yeah, for sure. Just not forcing anything. I feel like I definitely forced a few shots last game. Well, not a few. I forced a lot of shots last game. But, earlier in the game, guys got it going. Was able to pick and choose my spots a little better tonight, and which opened it up for me, and my teammates opening the game up for me, being able to get downhill, score points. EG and Grayson did a good job of putting pressure on them. And then when Goody came into the game, he put pressure on everybody on both sides of the ball. So, it's a great start for us, and we was able to cruise from there.
When shooters and scorers like Eric and Grayson have a rough shooting night or two, you just know it's coming, and it did tonight, right?
Yeah, it's a long season. Guys work extremely hard their whole lives, and to be in this position. So missed shots, something that we don't worry too much about as professionals. This is the other stuff that usually feeds into you playing good on offense, which is being in your position, being a great teammate, just guarding up on defense. Usually when you do the right things on defense, your offense will come around. And tonight we were solid on D.
Kevin, can you speak to your time with Steve Nash in Brooklyn and just kind of what you learned from him and what this night meant for him in the Ring of Honor and everything?
Yeah, Steve is a special player, special person, somebody I got to work with since 2012, 13. When he was just transitioning out the league, worked me out in the summer times. And then when I got to Golden State, he was a special consultant and came here once a month to work guys out, and then obviously head coach in Brooklyn. So we spent a lot of time together. I got a number of respect for who he is as a man and his family, but his basketball mind is just next level. Just the details that he goes through, to get himself ready for his 18, 19-year career. I forget how many years he played. Sorry.
Grayson, how good was it to find the offense, find your offense, and being able to score it a little bit tonight?
Yeah, it felt good to see the ball go through the hoop. I still feel like I didn't shoot it that well. Like 2 of those open threes, I'm getting wide open threes. So those have to be like layups for me. But seeing the ball go through the hoop, hitting 3 of them, that felt good, especially after the first 2 games.
Last thing I had was in transition. When you took off, I said, so maybe you tell me, who would you like? I'm finishing this one, and maybe just take us through that a little bit.
It was kind of a waiting game. Like I kind of wanted to see what he was going to do because I had, somebody on my right. I think Kev was on my left. So I wanted to see if he was going to commit. And once it got to the point where he's like in the charge circle, I knew I was going up and trying to dunk it.
That had to feel, I mean, when was it, have you done that in recent years or that?
Yeah, man. Last year I had a nice dunk last year. You got to look that one up. Last year's was way better.
Who was that against?
The Pacers. Yeah.
Grayson, you had a couple tough balls in the second quarter and then the early third quarter, and then you had 14 in the third. Was that just a coincidence, or was that a bit of frustration boiling over and you were able to take it out on?
Channel it the right way.
Well, I know it's a delicate area for you, so I don't.
No, it's no. I think it was a lot of coincidences. I was in the right spot to make plays. Like I said, like I got a lot of open looks, a few of those fast break drives, and when the floor is spread, was able to make a couple plays defensively. Like it all just started to kind of come together there in that third quarter, where on both ends I was able to make a bunch of good plays.
It felt like the defensive intensity was just at another level, another notch tonight, at least from my side looking in. Did that feel that way for y'all as well on the court?
I think so. I think we've played good defense to start the season. Like first two games, pretty good defense. We also have had a lead in games that we've given up. So I think the third quarter and really fourth quarter too, that was kind of in the back of our mind. Like we built a little bit of a lead. Let's expand it. Let's bury this game, put it away. So that's probably part of the reason why our third quarter was so good. We had that extra little motivation. Like we got the lead. Let's finish it.
Kevin had the big stat line with 39 on Thursday, but what he was able to do tonight as a playmaker with more of like the limited shot making, can you just speak to what that did for the offense at the start of the game when he was setting everything up?
Yeah, he's a really good passer. Obviously, Kev has a great feel for the game as a scorer, and when he's drawing extra guys, like I don't think we did a very good job last game of giving them openings and kind of helping them out when they were trying to get the ball out of his hands. And we drilled it a little bit, and tonight we were prepared for it. Did a much better job of giving him outlets, scoring cuts, guys kind of sliding into space, giving him spots for threes, and he's a great passer, so he was able to find us.
I imagine there are a few better feelings for you when you guys throw to him in the mid-post and you're one pass away, so you're about to get an open three or it's kind of great one-on-one.
Yeah. I mean, that was the spot I loved the last 2 years in Milwaukee too. Same with Giannis. I throw it to him and play the game of chicken. If my guy helps, I'm ready. So I like being in that spot and just kind of sliding back and forth, hoping to get an open look.
There's been a lot of talk about you guys not having a true point guard for the team, but 31 assists tonight. Do you feel like you guys are figuring that out by just passing, all the way around?
Yeah, I think it's something we'll get a lot better at. Like when we play within the flow of the game and the game doesn't slow down, it's really, really easy for us. I think it's more of a challenge when it slows down a little bit. We have to set something up. We have different guys handling it, so that's more of a comfortability thing that will come after a few games where it doesn't matter who's bringing it up, doesn't matter who's initiating the offense. We all know the spots that we can be in, and guys can kind of fill different areas on the floor. But really, it's just point guard by committee. I mean, even on made baskets, like whoever's closest to the ball is getting it out, everyone else is filling the lane, and it's flowing down into the office. Like we're getting a lot of stuff in transition on makes and misses. That's like 3-on-3, 4-on-4 because we're getting the ball out so fast. So when we play like that, like you don't need a true point guard in that sense. You just need someone to start it off.
What's your chemistry been with Eric Gordon so far in this game with him?
Yeah, it's been great. EG can really score the ball. These first few games, we've kind of been in tandem of being primary ball handlers and bringing it up. And really, it's just a game of whoever gets the ball or whoever is not being picked up full court at the time, like just get it across and get us into stuff, kind of use the pressure. If other teams want to pressure us, use it against them. But I mean, I've seemed to find him a lot. Like when I'm driving and I kind of turn my head, he's sliding. He's always open for three. So I feel like we kind of got a good thing going.
Grayson, speaking of guys have been competitive even without Book and Bradley. So, given that, and it's the third game, you guys have a win like this, how good does that feel?
It's great. I mean, guys are stepping up. We have a really good next man mentality, next man up mentality. Big scoring night tonight from EG, mostly in the first half. He went crazy, but within our offense, like, we're getting a lot of good looks, and we have a lot of guys that can shoot it, score it in different spots. So it's not really a surprise to see EG have a 20-point half, or another guy hit a bunch of threes. Like, that's kind of the faith that we have in everyone on the team, on the roster. Like, a lot of guys who can shoot 40% from three out there.
What has Coach Vogel kind of told you what he expects from you offensively, what he wants to see from you until, Book and Brad get back?
I mean, not really anything different with them out versus when they come back. I still think, like we've talked about, me being aggressive and the break, whether it's fast break or kind of a secondary break, and getting to the paint and being a scorer, or having eyes out for guys on the three-point line. And obviously that's even more dangerous when it's Book and Brad out there. And then, like I was doing tonight off of Kev or off of other guys' drives, like slide into space, being a threat from three to being ready to let it go, and same defensively, competing.
Thanks, Grayson.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.